The Nervous System Animation Project by Lila, Jasmine, and Anahit. This is a neuron. The neuron has a few important parts. First, this is the main part, which is the cell body. It's also connected to the dendrites, which receive the signal and pass it along the axon into other neurons through the synapses. This is a membrane. The membrane is a semi-permeable membrane surrounding the cytoplasm of a cell. These are ion channel proteins and pumps that are special proteins that allow for certain ions to pass through at different times. This picture demonstrates the sodium-potassium pump working in a membrane. Circles are sodium ions, and diamonds are potassium ions. The wavy proteins are sodium-potassium pumps, round proteins are potassium channels, and striped are sodium channels. Then this is the outside of the cell, which is has more sodium ions, and the inside of the cell has more potassium ions. In addition, the outside of the cell is more positive and the inside is more negative. This is a synaptic cleft where the proteins that allow the ions to transfer will pass down the signal and cause these vesicles to form containing neurotransmitters that would eventually go through the synaptic cleft into other neurons because of the activation by calcium ions flowing into the channel with a voltage-gated channel. The neurotransmitters go from the presynaptic membrane to the postsynaptic membrane. And this is going to be showing the effect of tetrodotoxin on the cell. And basically what tetrodotoxin does is that it binds to the sodium ion channels and prevents sodium from flowing from outside of the cell into the cell. This prevents the membrane potential from increasing, which will be shown later on in the graph. And this means that the sodium stays outside and the potassium stays inside the cell. This is the membrane potential if it's normally without the effect of tetrodotoxin. The resting potential is negative 70 millivolts and the threshold is 50 millivolts, negative 50 millivolts. And then after the threshold is reached, an action potential occurs, and then it reaches its falling phase where it goes back into the resting potential. Then this is the effect of tetrodotoxin on the membrane potential. Originally, it would reach its membrane threshold by increasing the membrane voltage through sodium ions. However, since this is not reached, it just goes back to its resting potential. Thank you for watching, and we hope that was helpful.